Okay, let's start this. Welcome to today's webinar, Networks for the Smartphone Generation. I'm Jonas Eliasson, serving as a Global Account Manager here at Conscia, and with me today is Fredrik.
Yes, Fredrik Dahlgren, Service Operations Manager and responsible for the managed services here in Conscia, Sweden.
Thank you, Fredrik. So let's look at the agenda for today. First, we're going to go through Conscia, who we are and what we do. And of course, new times demands new solutions. Networking for the smartphone generation. And then at the end, we have some key takeaways and questions and answerings. So please feel free to ask any questions as we go along. We will collect them and answer them at the end of the session. So let's look at who we are at Conscia. Conscia is a European specialist in networking, hybrid cloud, and cybersecurity. We operate across Denmark, Sweden, Norway, and the Netherlands, and of course, Germany and Slovenia. Our team, consisting of approximately 1,000 employees, is dedicated to supporting around 1,000 customers. Currently, we manage 6 different network operation centers, NOCs, and 1 security operations center, SOC. As a Cisco Gold provider, we place a strong emphasis on expertise. To date, we boast over 100 CCIE certification within our company. Let's look at Conscia technology areas. We have cybersecurity, where security is ingrained in our work ethic. We design, implement solutions with security at the forefront, selecting products that uphold our standards. We also operate an advanced management detection and response service, the Conscia SOC, safeguarding our customer security before, during, and after an incident. And when it comes to networking, our portfolio includes design and implementation of some of Europe's largest and most critical business networks. We adopt a lifecycle approach, assisting customers in integrating new technologies, managing IT operations, and optimizing their ICT utilization. If you look at the data center and cloud, our expertise extends to building a modern and scalable data centers that meets the highest expectation in security and stability, whether on-premise, in the cloud, or a hybrid setup. Let's have a look at our strategic technology partners. We work today with Cisco, of course, Palo Alto, Microsoft, AWS, and VMware. This is the Conscia managed service approach. Our methodology is managed service delivery is comprehensive. We support our customers from system design to implementation, providing equipment and services, and finally managing and operating the solution. So now let's examine how we construct networking solutions tailored for the smartphone generation. Over to you, Fredrik.
Thank you. So yes, let's start but seeing what's really happening in the society. So new times demands new solutions. And we know that in all of history, change have been completely unstoppable. And the ones that embrace this change, they will be the winners. And the ones that work against this change will be, mildly speaking, left behind. And this is just facts. So it is what it is. It's facts. So today, we're going to see how embrace this change and use the power of the cloud, automation, and experts, give you a whole new level of visibility and proactivity, and basically a whole new way of working. So in short, we're going to show you what, at least in our, what we think is the networking solution for the smartphone generation. So let's start up with the difference between the organizational reality in the 90s and the organizational reality in 2024. And to do that, instead of just comparing thing for thing that you can basically read on the screen, I'm gonna show you how I worked in the 90s, because yes, I'm old and I worked in the 90s. So let's start up with how was my working day in the 90s? Yeah, in the morning, I wake up because the clock radio rang and I took my 4-gear car to the office. I stamped in with a stamp card. I sat down at the office table and started my stationary computer. And I got the coffee while it booted up because, to be honest, it took some time. Then I sat down and looked through the paper-based file index on the desktop to be able to call the customers. And I also checked the email. An email, by the way, I can only reach at the office. And also at 10 o'clock and 3 o'clock, there were mandatory coffee breaks. And after the first coffee break, I usually went into the staging room. I connected my console cable and I started working. And if I had some problems, I just searched in one of the hundreds of the technical books. I didn't search online because if it were there, it took such a long time to open it. Otherwise, I always went to the customer place and I walked around, connecting my cable to individual networking devices or remotely with some text editor, for example, Telnet. Or I went to the basement and I worked in the data centers. Or, to be honest, data center and data center, it was usually some individual servers, usually one hardware server per function, and some routers and so on. And everything was really advanced, or I might say consultancy and intensive. And all the meetings were physical. And that's kind of nice. I still like that better, but it's time consuming. Because it's all the travel and so on. And then after work, I went home. I watched TV, but only if it was something good when I had the time to look. Otherwise, I just missed it. But something has happened now, to be honest, and my working day has changed, completely changed. Today I wake up in the morning by the smartphone rings, and I wake up in the bed in Spain. It can be in Thailand, it can be whatever, or in my home. It doesn't really matter anymore. I answer my mails from my bed, or from my kitchen table, or from the pool. I log into the cloud and look what to do in my planner from my smartphone. I decide who to call and look in my smartphone again to find the correct number. I then connect to the Meraki cloud, again, either with a PC, my tablet, or my smartphone, and start configuring devices in this solution. And if I run into problems, I just ask an AI and get a suggestion on the solution in seconds, instead of looking through hundreds of books. And regarding the coffee breaks, I take coffee while I'm working, and I take coffee from a machine. I start up with the app, because I want fresh coffee. I take some online meetings to save more time and be more efficient. And after work, I look at whatever I want, wherever I want, and whenever I want. And I look at on my TV, my mobile device, for example, a smartphone. So this has completely changed, at least my reality. So what really happened in the world and in my life, for me, the two really big changes are, number one, highly available and cheap bandwidth. Secondly, the smartphone or the mobile devices. So it has enabled another way of working we couldn't even imagine 20 years ago. And now the next big change is around the corner, and this is the amount of connected devices. And this amount is really exploding. And the only viable way at least, to manage this enormous amount of devices is with automation and AI. Today, 80% of all data is accessed from a mobile device. So this has changed the way today's corporate organization function. But the pace of this change, to be honest, will only increase. So should we then really treat the network, not only the network, but let's talk about the network, treat the network as we did in the 90s? Or should it really be designed for today's reality and prepared for the next massive change with everything connected? Otherwise, it would be like connecting a smartphone to a cable, and it really doesn't make any sense. So we need, in our opinion, to look at this in another way. So if this is the case, why do we still look at old truths like they were still relevant? So to be honest, in my opinion, a lot of networking solutions are designed for a reality no longer present, or at the very least, in large part, in the way out. So we should ask ourselves, if this old established principle that we always have done, is there still valid today? Or do we need to rethink? So now we're going to show you how we deliver a global service out of Sweden based on automation and expert, and built, in our opinion, a solution really for the smartphone generation. So let's start what we deliver. It's a LAN service built on Meraki, MR access points and MS switches, and an SD-WAN as a service built on Meraki MX. All of this is built and delivered through a portal that visualizes all the customer engagement. We combine that with an app that we call Conscia Connect. And one of the things with Conscia Connect is to get rid of the demand for geographical presence. But it's important here to stress that we deliver the service and we also deliver the hardware. But we usually recommend the customer to own their own hardware. And why do we do that? Because you as a customer must be able to change supplier if you're not satisfied. You can't be locked in for years because the complexity in changing supplier means the complexity of changing the hardware. So easy, nothing special so far. And the solution is really divided in two parts in our world. It's a customer-facing side. It's built in a modern fashion and to give simplicity for the customer. And it's a back-end side that's built heavily on automation to increase the efficiency and the value of the solution. So let's start up to talk a bit about the customer-facing part. And the interesting thing here is how we handle solution and the customer interaction. For example, the delivery and the installation of hardware. And we do that with an app that we, like I said, that we call Conscia Connect, an app that we use today in more than 2,000 locations in over 60 countries. And this is, of course, a huge advantage when we have a global SD-WAN rollout. Rollouts we today do, usually without a single traveling day, independent of location. So the customer or the installation firm, they're just mounting the hardware, scans the serial number, answers a few questions in the app. The GPS validates the position, and you're done. Like I said, we are trying to make this a solution for the smartphone generation. So everything you can do in your customer portal, you can do in the app. So let's basically say we want the modern app and cloud-friendly interaction and feeling in the customer part. But to complement this customer part and the smartphone thinking around the installation and the customer integration with us, we also need to be very modern and proficient in the backend. And this is to get faster, more accurate customer support. We need to be scalable, proficient, and also be economically viable. And to do that, we need automation. So let's talk a bit about the backend. Historically, it was first line of NOC services and eyes on screen all the time. And usually, maybe not so high competence in the first line. And is that really necessary today? Maybe it is for some function, and maybe it's not. Because you should always ask yourself, who's the fastest and smartest and more accurate? You looking at the screen, or maybe an AI? And here usually people always say to me, we can't let an AI decide about a network, and absolutely not about security events. And my question back to them is also, okay, don't you like self-driving cars? These cars decide about your life, and that's okay. So sometimes I feel like we need to stop a bit and maybe think about the priorities a little, because they can be a bit strange. So how do we do this automation? Yeah, let's meet Kara. Kara the robot. Kara stands for Conscia Artificial Response Agent. She's completely built in AWS. And that makes her not infinitely, but almost infinitely scalable. She works 24/7 and she's always positive. And she's really a support expert. Today she handles approximately 28,000 tickets a year. But what is the real benefit of this automation? Yeah, in addition to the speed and efficiency of the support, which of course saves a lot of time and also saves a lot of money with reduced production losses, etc. for the customer. Let's say that some we usually say 96%, but let's say between 90 and 96% of all the tickets are opened by Cara. 96% in this example about 10,000 cases, but in reality it's closer to 28,000 tickets. All is delivered thanks we have a really strong API interaction with Ciscos Meraki and some third-party suppliers. But anyway, only 4% are called in. So without this automation, you will only know about and be able to act and plan on about 4% of what happens. For us, this is an incredible win. It's a lot of data that we get, and we also set off alarms or tickets and events that happens that are not really problems to get more and more statistics and to be able to anticipate problems even outside the network area. And we can do that today. So for example, we know you will have login problems on Thursday afternoons, for example. So we can call the customer and talk about this before it becomes a real issue. And at least in our world, this provides a completely different value than just sitting by the phone and waiting for someone to call and then start troubleshooting. And just imagine what we will be able to do with Cara when we connect Cara to an AI. So if Cara opens, she opens 90 to 96% of the cases and closes a majority of them. And this is something we really want to get increased with AI, the closing part. But regardless of that, sometimes you're going to need help. And this is really the secret sauce in the service, apart from automation. It's experts. And why do we put experts in the support? It's because we care about the customers, to be honest. Because if you put low competence in the support, you don't care about the customers. The only reason not to have experts in the support is cost. And we remove that cost with using the automation and put our money into experts. So today, our SLAs do not define time to ticket any longer. It defines time to expert. Because Cara takes care of the tickets in the first 30 seconds, maybe a minute. So automation also enables us to use experts in the support. So, expert and automation to improve the service and experience at the back end, and application and cloud-based at the front end, makes this, in our opinion at least, a complete solution for how to work with networking in a modern, cost-effective, and future-proof way. In short, a modern solution for smartphone generation. So with that said, I will hand over to Jonas and a customer case built on this.
Thank you, Fredrik. Let's talk about Academedia. So while Fredrik was busy with the stamp card, I was in secondary school at the time where our classrooms were quite different from today. We used stencils for our exams and homework. Our teachers shared knowledge using an overhead projector, and if we were lucky, our classroom technology got as exciting as a rolling TV with a VHS player for a dose of educational videos. Recess was our break from the traditional learning tools, where we played games like ping pong or pingis, or challenged each other on the snake game on the iconic Nokia 3310. It was simple fun, you might say. Computers, they were a rare resource, tucked away in the computer lab, which seemed to be closed more often than open, either for maintenance or due to some mysterious issues with the network. And thinking back, I suspect our local IT expert dual role as the janitor might have something to do with that. But let's fast forward from the 90s to today, and the scene in Swedish schools is dramatically different. By law today, each student has their own client PC, and the tech-savvy ones might even juggle one or two extra devices. all synced and hooked to the network platform. And gone are, and today the stencil and piles of paper are gone. Now almost everything operates through cloud services like Microsoft for Edu or G Suite for Edu. And when it's time for learning through videos, students are more likely to be streaming on YouTube than wheeling in a TV cart. Ping pong tables might still have their charm, but now they're often the backdrop of the next viral TikTok. And kids today are not just playing games, they're also creating content. This revolution in the educational method is a shift in user behavior that has propelled the network system to the forefront. The network is not longer just a support, it's at the heart of the entire educational system. So as we navigate through this change, it's crucial for institutions like Academedia to rise to the occasion. Before we look into how Academedia meets these evolving demands, let's first introduce to you who they are. Academedia is a pioneering education provider in Europe, founded in 1996. Academedia has established itself as a key player in the private educational sector, offering comprehensive services across primary, secondary, adult, and higher education. Academedia's journey of expansion is remarkable. Originating in Sweden, they have extended their operation across Norway, the Netherlands, Germany, and Poland, demonstrating a really successful international growth strategy. Today, Academedia stands as a giant in the education sector, educating approximately 190,000 students, and with about a faculty of 17,600. They operate with an impressive annual turnover of 138 million euros and are a recognized entity on the Stockholm Stock Exchange. Their digital footprint extends over 660 sites in Sweden, hosting about 136,000 unique users weekly and utilizing around 9,000 Conscia managed Meraki network devices. So let's take a look at the transformation of Academedia. The journey of Academedia through the decades reflect a dynamic adoption to evolving technology landscape, particularly in meeting the needs of the smartphone generation. This transformation entails significant shift in their information consumption and operational methodologies. At the core of their network solutions lie three fundamental pillars: scalability, proactiveness, and cloud delivered. These principles guide Academedia in building a scalable, stable, and cost-efficient business model for their network environment. In partnership with Conscia and utilizing Ciscos Meraki, Academedia has successfully navigated these transformations. So let's explore how this collaboration has enabled them to achieve their ambitious goals. First out, scalability. Academedia's objective revolves around delivering high-quality, standardized solutions that efficiently scale across multiple locations, despite the dynamic nature of schools. This scalability is crucial given the absence of local technical expertise. Conscia plays a pivotal role in this scenario by automating the deployment process with the Conscia Connect app, thereby eliminating the need for local technical expertise. Our strategic approach significantly reduces the traditional dependencies, like staging areas for network equipment. Our deployment methodology is designed to leverage the power of the cloud services and to ensure consistency and efficiency. We provide tailored radio designs with pre-selected products aligned with each site's specific needs. This ensures a uniform, scalable environment, maintaining high service quality across all locations. AcadeMedia has embraced a forward-thinking cloud-first strategy. This involves transitioning from in-house applications to cloud services and SaaS, adopting a pay-as-you-go model. This strategic shift is aimed at simplifying their infrastructure, allowing greater adaptability to organizational changes. Aligned with this strategy, Conscia offers a flexible business model where service fees are based on the units under active management, where AcadeMedia has the possibility to scale up and down. Our unified platform provides a comprehensive view, enabling real-time monitoring, ticket tracking, order placement, and product shipments oversight. This synergy supports AcadeMedia's cloud-first approach while enhancing efficiency and control. Through this partnership, AcadeMedia retains solution ownership, offering them the flexibility to change the managing partner, like Conscia, without disrupting their core infrastructure. This model, as we like to call it, is owning the keys to the castle. And it ensures adaptability and strategic freedom from AcadeMedia's side. And it's a critical advantage in today's dynamic educational landscape. AcadeMedia's IT organization is streamlined yet effective, relying on product and service owners to deliver eternal functionality. With a limited in-house team, the role of external partners becomes crucial for ensuring stability and expert support. Given the central role of network services, proactive and swift support is vital for AcadeMedia. Absent of local expertise at each site demands a partner capable of anticipating issues, promptly notifying through automated tickets, and ensuring peak performance. Conscia's automation engine, Klara, along with our team of experts, exemplifies proactive support. Look, our statistics highlight this. Out of 6,467 tickets generated quarterly, only 2% of these necessitates expert intervention. The response time is notably swift, around 1 hour and 20 minutes for expert handling, and approximately 30 seconds from event to ticket creation through our automation, Klara. This efficiency underscores our commitment to responsive support, which has enabled AcadeMedia to cut operational costs by 50%, redirecting focus towards business development rather than ticket management and unnecessary incidents. So let's have a look at our governance model, because effective governance is key to maintaining a strategic focus on business objectives and key metrics. Conscia and AcadeMedia's robust governance model provided by the SDM and account team plays a vital role in this. This model is structured to ensure consistent alignment with business goals. It includes regular operations meetings held monthly, tactical meetings every quarter, and strategic meetings every 6 months. Such a structured approach ensures that all levels of decision-making, operational, tactical, and strategic, are addressed systematically, enabling AcadeMedia to navigate efficiently and focus on critical business objectives. So that's what I had to say about AcadeMedia. Let's over to you, Fredrik.
Thank you, Jonas. Yes. So what shall a customer demand and expect in a modern network delivery, in our opinion, at least? First, it has to be a scalable business model. It should be a solution built on automation and AI to secure future functionality and proactivity. This is really a key feature. If it's no automation or AI, it's very hard to get some proactivity. You should be able to securely consume applications and services from wherever you are and whenever you want. You also need to have complete visibility independent of device type. If 80% of all data is accessed by a smartphone or a mobile device, you need to prepare for that. The solution need to support that. As long as it's possible, you want to have as a pay-as-you-go consumption model. You need to be able to get hold of experts when you need it. Usually that also is in the support. No supplier lock-in if it's not absolutely critical. And most of all, you need transparency into the solution and everything around it. So, to wrap it up a bit, some of the key takeaways. Yeah, most importantly, you need to focus on what's relevant 2024, not what was relevant in the 90s or even the early 20s. So you need to consider to live in the present reality. So you should never say that we should do it, as we always have done it. We need to look what's coming ahead of us with all of this enormous amount of connected devices. It will affect us all. So basically, you have to choose where you want to be. Do you want to be in the 90s or you want to be in the 20s? A very important question is this, during all this transformation that are happening, is that who do you think will be the winner in the next 5 years? So that was it. I hope you found some of it, at least, somewhat useful. So nothing more from us. So do we have any questions?
We got a reflection here from James Down, where he says another huge benefit of cloud delivery services in education is the use of real estate, i.e. classrooms. Schools no longer need dedicated rooms for each subject. This offers flexibility and much better room usage. Yeah, that's completely true. They see a lot of value of having cloud delivery services, and also it's been a really enabler during the whole corona. They could provide the education from home also, at least a lot. They did that a lot here in Sweden.
Yeah.
But they also, if you look at academia, they try to leverage also the Meraki-plattform using smart sensors to measure air quality and stuff like that to get the best environment possible in the classrooms. So they really use and leverage the cloud.
Any more questions or opinions?
No more questions here. Anyone has a question?
If not, thanks for attending. And like it says here, the session was recorded.
Yeah.
And we will send you both the recording and the presentation. And you want to know anything more, so just reach out to Jonas Eliasson. It's jonas.eliasson@conscia.com, or your local Conscia office or account manager to book a meeting. So,
perfect. Thank you, Fredrik.
Thank you.